Good morning, Year 6, and welcome to Monday the 14th of December's writing input. Today we're going to be writing the section about Mayan gods and beliefs. So, as before, you need your Ancient Mayans research booklets and the information about Mayan gods and beliefs. So, first thing I'd like you to do is read through your notes, then we're going to have a look at the structure strip, and then we're going to have a go at writing a few things. Okay, so what I'd like you to do now is just pause the video and have a look through your notes about Mayan gods. Right, so just to run you through my notes here, I've split my notes into 4 sections, just a few general things about Mayan beliefs. Mayan gods are in that bit there, a couple of examples, and this part is about temples and rituals, and then this part is about bloodletting, which was quite gruesome to read about, actually. So, having a look at our structure strips. So, what you need to write about today are the following. Now, we need a subheading about Mayan belief, a short 1 to 2 line introduction about Mayan beliefs that aren't facts, that just give us a general overview about what we're going to read. And then I'm going to focus on that and where did they worship and what do these places look like. So then you will write by yourself how many gods they have and maybe give some examples. So if you haven't got any examples, there's 4 examples there. More than welcome to have a look at. How did they keep the gods happy? We're going to discuss that briefly. And then how did the Mayans believe that time worked? Some interesting thoughts there. I haven't written any facts about that down. And then what were their views on death and the afterlife? So this is what I've done here. So I've got my little part of the structure strip here. And just to kickstart us off in yellow, this is our short 1 to 2 line introduction. That highlight is way too big. So, like their advanced society, the Mayans had some complicated beliefs and practices, as well as having many gods. So when I say it's not fact, technically that is a fact, but it's just a summary. It doesn't give me anything specific, so it's very general. And it just says, like their advanced society, because for their time the Mayans were very advanced. They had some very complicated beliefs and practices, as well as having many gods. And there are quite a few gods. They had a god for everything, I think. So then I've started my next section off. Religion was extremely important to the Maya. Temples were built at the centre of every city, always at the top of huge pyramids. So now I'm on to this second section there, so I'm just going to switch that to light blue. Where did they worship and what did these places look like? So, with this part, I've given it like a sentence introduction, saying it's really important, and then saying temples were built at the centre of every city, always at the top of huge pyramids. The temples were built high up because the Maya believed that the higher the temple, the closer the temple would be to the land of the gods. So I've used a fact here to start off with about the temples being at the top of pyramids, and then I've explained that fact with another fact from my notes and my research. Okay, and then I've put, however, only priests, royal family members, and sacrifices were allowed to climb the steps to the temple. Again, so that would fall under that information there. So it's just a quick one today because I thought this would be your most interesting section. So a couple of things to write about after that, about how many gods, how they kept the gods happy. If you're struggling with these last 2, you can miss them out. Just to give you an example, here are the gods. So I think this one is called Itzamana. He was the creator and the ruler of the gods. There's his wife, Ixchel, and she was the goddess of the moon. Chak, we know Chak. He was in our book, The Chocolate Tree. He's the god of rain. They believed he would bring a good harvest. And then there's Kanich Ahau, who was the god of the sun, also thought to bring a good harvest. So these two would get a lot of bloodlets to them. Now, on the concept of bloodletting, my gosh, the Mayans thought blood was the most important thing in rituals, and they offered the blood of sacrifices and their kings and queens to the gods. So people, when they were sacrificed, would be beheaded and their blood offered to the gods in that way. Or the royal family, or members of the royal family, would cut their lips or tongues and drip this blood onto paper. And they believed that when they did this, they could hear the gods speak to them or through them, and that they could also speak to their ancestors who had died. Very, very interesting practices there. So, looking forward to reading these. Again, same as usual. If you need some advice or if you'd like to send me your work, please email it to me and I will do my best to email you back. Okay, good luck, Year 6, and I'll see you tomorrow.